Content warning. Following show contains discussions of fictitious some stuff about the world, but not quite political. Just stuff that I've realized over the course of my adult life. Maybe some things that'll make some people feel seen. Here's hoping. I want people to know that they're. But either way, for discretion. Look at you. Cool. Being cool. I know. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? How's it going? What's going on today? I am Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer, and I am coming at you from the dark side of the room. That's right. Now, this is the show where we talk about games and hobbies and paint and life. Do you know anything about life? I love life. I really do. I genuinely mean that. I like the life that I live. Um, I don't like all of the life that I've lived because I'm middle aged, which means I remember all the times, or should I say, I remember all the periods in my life where every decision I made seemed to be the right one at the time. And then I woke up one day and I'm like, what are these teeth marks on my butt? Oh, yeah. That was that. Yeah, that's from that one time. Yeah, that's right. Tune in, join us, hang out and all that jazz. And of course, if you guys have anything to say, you want to hit me up and all that stuff, well, there's a couple of ways that you can do that. Number one, you can leave a comment right here, like right in this little space. Like, move. All right, yeah, you can leave a comment right here. Why? Because I like comments, all that stuff. So y'all can talk to me right here, right in this little spot right here. Or if you got something that you don't want me putting out on Front Street and all that jazz, pull up your keyboard and type in back in the deck at gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. You can also hit me up on Twitter at back in the deck. Again, BACKINTHEDECK. Also on Instagram and of course TikTok. I know a lot of you guys out there going, why is he always tripping on his words? Ain't he reading isn't he reading the thing that's on the screen right now? No, I'm not reading it right now because I'm rebellious and I'm a rebel, so I rebel, and that's what we do. And if you are still a rebel or you're like me and you're over 40 years old, that means you still have a Facebook account, which means you can sign up for Deckers on the Book. Now, what is that? Well, that's our free Facebook group. What? That's right. It's a Facebook group where we get together, we talk about stuff, we show off what we're making, we talk to each other about rules questions, or at least to see if we can get like invitations to discords that ask about those things. The 21st century is just so full of stuff. So yeah, that is what we are doing. So I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things before we get. Also, I want to thank all the people that are here watching and all that jazz. I'm not going to give shout outs on both platforms, but you know what? I appreciate you guys. But what I do want to talk about a little bit is the cost and the cost. Oh, wait, y'all can't see me. Ah, y'all can't see me. Y'all can't see me. Okay. Yeah, and what I do want to talk about just a little bit is the cost and the maintenance of a friendship stuff. I'm like, I like telling people nurture them friendships. Y'all do that whole thing because I'm not going to say I'm a literalist, okay? Um but I had a major, major trip down nostalgia lane today, and I thought back to when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, there were a couple of other things that were out there that were like, yeah, say what you mean what you say was a real big one. In my house, I mean, a really, really big one. Say what you mean what you say. And if you don't mean what you say, then by definition, you lying and don't be a liar. Rah! And I'm like, okay, all right. So I started thinking about a lot of words. And time passes, words evolve, language evolves. So that's part of the thing. And I'm not being like the old man yells at cloud. Nobody says what they mean no more. No, 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 no. But what I do want to make it very clear, very, very clear, is I take certain words seriously, like friend, community, things like that. And I'm like, you know what? I want to start a community. How can I do that? Well, in order to start a community, I got to commune with folks. So I'm like, yeah, that's one of the things I got to do. And if you got to commune with people, that means you got to reach out every once. Hey, everybody getting something. I mean, it really is that. And I really do. Oh, dude, my announcement on YouTube. So let me just finish this up. So yeah, that's a really, I'm out here really, really doing what I believe it takes to be, someone. I want to talk with people, laugh with people, for their hopes, their past. So that's just what it is. It is what it is. That is literally what I do. I'm doing. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I'm gonna stop. This now this really looks like a bunch of YouTube. So, today, I'm letting you guys know I've been doing, planning out a few things for the Patreon. All right. Yes, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/BID score P. And I have so many tiers. I'm thinking about shaving them down to like a $5 tier and a $10 tier, $2 tier and a $10 tier. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm really like trying to build that stuff up and doing some good stuff for them. I think I just got a YouTube announcement saying, "Hey, you're on YouTube right now." But anyway, um, and one of the things I want to do are kind of live edited battle reports and all that stuff. I get inspired by a lot of people out there, and I have been punk rock since I was a kid. Like I can do that. I just make it myself. Bah, 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 bah. So with that, as you guys know, I'm a total shill. Total shill. Hey, what's going on? Wait, who is talking to me right now? Ah, Focus 941. Cool. Good to have you back. Um, live chat. Up chat. Thank you. Um, so yeah, I am like, I am super punk rock. I'm all about DIY, doing it yourself, And I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this thing because I ain't got the money to pay top dollar for all this other stuff. So, that's a big thing. Now, one of the things I like doing is playing games, and I got so I'm gonna be doing some battle reports for things like Grimdark Future, Grimdark Firefight, um, actually Ed Zone from Mantic Games. Excuse me. Along with a few other things. I might even throw some board games in there, depending on how fun they are, or for you to watch me play with them myself. So now that we got all that stuff, I want to kind of get into what we're doing. One of the things I'm going to be doing are battle reports for the game Grimdark, Grimdark Future Firefight, and their other game, Age of Fantasy. And the Age of Fantasy did some really cool opinion. because, it's got the whole fantasy, but they've got Beastmen in the same way another game company who is about to drop a new product, and boy, are we excited about something that we are going to buy. But they have a fantasy game since they started as sort of a fantasy company and all that jazz, and they have Beastmen. I'm like, very cool. So, what I ended up doing was going through one page rules because that's what I do. That company, some and I'm part of Patreon, and they have Beastmen. So I'm like, you know what? I want to do a Beastmen. All right, I'm gonna do, or at least a Beastmen skirmish army, Age of Fantasy skirmish. 5 to 10 minis, good a day, and I have most of them painted scheme. So I have a paint scheme on this. It's a really simple paint job, and I've got most of the team down. But my other one had not come here yet. So I'm like, I've got 3 models left. And I paint those in an hour. And will people be interested? That is what we are gonna. So let's head back to the game gallery, and we will check all that out. So woo, here we are. All right. I love that I can do this and I can point like right up there. So yeah, this is our main guy. So we prime these guys in black. Yes, we're using slap chop because I am not an artist. Okay, I'm not trying to go for award-winning paint jobs. I just want paint on my minis to call it a freaking day. All right, that is what we're doing. We have a little bit of water, and we're just gonna dip our water back here. Put some water here. Get our brush a little bit wet. Ooh, yeah. You look forward to my weather forecasts. I have no idea what you mean. So I know a punchline is coming. Okay. Yeah. And, ooh, whoa, didn't mean to do it like that, but that's okay. All right. So, yeah, we got that going. All right. Gonna wipe some of this stuff off. Cool. That's it. So we've got our black primer, and we're just gonna, ooh, well, I want a little less. Did I bring? Haha. I have my paper towel. Now, technically, you're not supposed to do the paper towel thing. Okay. But, eh, you know. So I'm starting off with my gray, and I'm just slapping it on. It's almost like an overbrush. And again, I don't care. My toys, I paint them how I want, and I'm not going for any awards. So, I do want to give a major shout out to Tanya the War Mistress for letting me know what sticky tack that she was using on her miniatures. Because yeah, these things are so solid. Yeah, she's like, oh, I use Uhu or Yuhu or Uhu white sticky tack. I tried using poster tack from 3M, and that was not the business. So this is what I did. So I was kind of inspired to do this because earlier this week, I had a friend over, and they were kind of going through, and I don't like it when my friends go through. They're going through a serious thing. I'm not going to talk about that thing because it's not my story to tell. Hey, Urkanu! Little low down on screen. Oh, well, you know what? Boom. Here we go. How's that? Huh? Huh? Look at that. All right. Here we go. Yeah. There we are. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so we're just gonna, oh, look at all that. Here we go. Yeah, we got that gray in there now. Ooh, yeah. All right, here we go. And I'm making this guy the leader of the squad. These are Beastmen Brutes, and that's cool. But yeah, they're kind of going through a thing. And I know little back history on myself. I started painting miniatures back in 2002. Yeah, 2002, 2003, when I worked at a game store and I was selling minis games. Oh, I don't like the way that looks. Let me try something real quick because I want some more light. So, because you can do a lot. Yeah, you can totally do a lot. I'm gonna get better light down. Doo, 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 doo. You can do a lot at a game store, but my boss, yeah, there we go. My boss was an official artist on to art school and did all of the art school things. And and that was all cool, good, and fine and or dandy for him. Okay. Um, but I grew up not having those, and when I was a kid, those things, the first of the budget cut. So I didn't know anything like color theory. All I had, um, there we go. Is that better, guys? I hope that's better. I think, yeah, having good light, a whole lot nicer. And I'm gonna do special effects over here just to make sure that Emma color set. That's good. Is that better? I think I like that. Uh, Thank you, Canoe. Let me know that you can't see with that. Um, so now down here, um, I have that underbelly, and I'm like, oh, that underbelly's there. I'm so eaten away at my time, and just gonna do a quick little dry brush. Thing ain't even clean, but that's right. Yeah, that cool. Get in there. All right, so that's one. Oh no, that's number two, isn't it? Yeah, number two and number three. Number three. Just a little bit more. Pop, pop. So there we go. Yeah. All right. Oh, yep. I'm just throwing that stuff on there. So yeah, and but my friend, who's going through a time, is a really, really amazing artist. And I remember when I used to have trouble in my relationships. Um, so I always lived in spaces that let me know I didn't belong. Okay, so a lot of people used to. Oh, I suffered from a lot of not like that's. Okay. Oh, you can be angry, but not like that. You can be hurt, but not like that. You can feel whatever you feel. You just can't show anybody. Know what I mean? So one of the things I started doing was I would paint big miniatures, dragons, Cthulhu's, things like that. And but again, I'm not an artist. I'm officially not an artist. Like, what kind of artist do you do? What kind of art do you do? None. I don't do art. I make toys. I don't do art. All right. So now that we got this guy here in the gray, now we're gonna take our white and we're gonna do some serious highlights. Okay. Now, fortunately, I already have color pattern picked out. Okay. I have a color pattern picked out, and there we go. Yeah, look at that guy. Okay. And again, when you do the white highlights, you only do where light is going to come down and hit the thing. The most elevated places, they'll tell you on the videos. And it's cool. So, yeah, that's what I did. But a lot of people, when they're upset, I know this from personal experience, they like breaking stuff. You know? And I'm like, tell you what, why don't you come over? And they're like, oh, we can break some stuff. I'm like, no, we shall create something. So I printed up some toys for their kid. And I'm like, last time I saw your son, I said something about little action figures. And he was like, ooh, knights. And I'm like, no, space soldiers. That's okay. Because now, printed them up, knights. And we painted some knights, and the tension lessened. It doesn't fix life, it doesn't do any of that. Life is so complex that sometimes we have to take a break and do a thing. There we are. Yeah, sometimes you just got to take a break and do a thing. Sometimes because we have to be reminded of the things that we like. And sometimes because there's nothing watchable on Netflix. So yeah, and there we go. There. Ooh, I think the light is too. Yeah, I think that's working there. Listen, look. Wait, refocus. There we are. It's all black and white and blue. Cool. So now I'm going to take one of my little brushes and I want to do a skin. Now, this is something that I made up as my first attempt, my very first attempt at making like contrast paints, stuff like that. And I made this out of various inks and some medium and stuff like that. No, I don't want premium. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, Microsoft. Okay. And this is like a shade. It's a brownish shade that I use from a Beastman. So I'm gonna just do all that and give these guys some faces because I like giving people faces. I don't do eyes. Yeah. Me, eyes, yeah, nah. Nah, son. Yeah, I don't do them eyes. And besides, I'm trying to get all this done by kind of the top of the hour. Maybe a little later, because I said, can I get them done in about 90 minutes? And when I say done, I mean table ready. Okay? That's what we gonna do. I just slop that stuff on. Just slap it all in. Going, look, we're brutes. We're angry brutes. There we go. Now, he's got face. Let's give him some skin under here. Skin. You know. Um. And as I said, the tension left, and that was cool. I really, really enjoyed doing that for my, just passing on some of the stuff that I learned and having to cope with a bizarre life. And that's the thing, y'all. Like, okay, I'm a wizard. Y'all know this. Um, and that means I live a strange life that has stresses and complications and a whole bunch of other things. So what do I do about it? Like what magic spells can I cast to make sure the stuff doesn't happen? And the really thing yeah. I don't even think about looking for nipples, Neon. Like, you know, um how fictional mammal type creatures feed their young doesn't really hit my mind. But tell you what, check out some of the art at onepagerules.com or my mini factory and look up one page rules. See what you can find and let me know on the Discord. um as a GM, because again, or as a DM, because this is a family friendly show, remember? All right. So there we go. We got hands, feet, and he grew, grew, and grew up to be. Yes, he grew up to be a guy with a goat face. Yep, a guy with a goat face. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Oh, I forgot his other hand. Yeah. Here we go. Look at the hand. Cool, cool. He's a guy with a goat face. You know. And yeah, when I saw these Beastmen come up on one page rules, I'm like, this is perfect. I can use them for Age of Fantasy Skirmish. I can use them for Rangers of Shadow Deep. I can use them for D&D. Just give them Cobalt stat. I'm like, yeah. So, second, because, yeah, a whole bunch of these guys. And I noticed that I'm kind of drawn to the beastmen that look like cats, which is odd because I'm a dog person. It's a little weird. But you know what? It's fine. It's perfectly fine. So, yeah, as you guys can see, I'm just slapping this stuff on here. And like I said, I want them done in 60 to 75 minutes because I want to put them on the table. Now, full disclosure, I've already painted the rest of the team. And what does that mean? That means I already have a color palette. I don't have to experiment. I don't have to think. And I don't really have to be on the spot inspired to get it done. On the spot inspired comes down to a concept that I see all the time in creative circles. And it's the thing that I find kills all deadlines. Okay. And that is a simple thought. Wouldn't it be cool if, and all of a sudden, the whole project is sidelined because, yes, it would be cool if. And so we stop and we try and figure out ways to make that cool thing happen. Right? I've already done that with the rest of them before I decided to do this show. That means I accidentally did preparation for today's episode, which is weird for me. So let's see. Hey, Gray Ghost, what's going on? Major congratulations to Gray Ghost, who made their very first sale on Etsy, within the past 24 hours. The terrain that this guy makes is really freaking cool. Of course, he learned from a dude who works special effects in Hollywood, just like I did. And he is definitely one of those things where it's like, you know what? Yeah, you should do this because you love it. And this guy loves it. Just loves it. I love the passion. Like, there's so much passion in what this guy makes and why he does it. Gordon Ramsay would never call him a donut. He'd just be like, I see your passion. Your passion is there. Look at your standards. Your standards are fantastic. I'm not gonna call you a donut. You know. All right. So the third guy, and yeah, see, now I'm also doing this not just because I'm kind of over this project, because I'm really not over it, as it were, but every time, ooh, what is that there? That is some stuff that I don't like seeing, which is some detail that didn't quite come out. So I'm gonna just put some of that back in there. Smaller brush, do a little bit of dry brush in there. Yeah. All right. Looks like I can answer Neon's question with, looks like the sculptor covered their teats, which I'm cool with. Oh, yeah, couldn't get that in there, so I'm just gonna. Oh, I'm still framed. There we go. All right. Oh, and by the way, Uraknu, let me know if this is working for you. Okay. All right. So yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm just giving a few more areas a dry brush. As grim dark as it is, because it's grim and dark. It's like Ryan Reynolds thinks it's coming from the DC universe. Um, I like having shadows, but I'm not really one for the Mike Mignola style of art. You know, Hellboy. Um, or the Frank Miller style where it's um loads of sexism, racism, and shadows everywhere. Just saying, just saying. And for the record, there are Frank Miller books I like. I don't think very many people were able to touch his Daredevil. I just think he first lost his mind after He got done with Sin City. I think that's where he dropped his load. And then 9/11 happened, and he took a look at the train and went all the way off of all of the way off the rail. Hey, what's going on, Neff Jeff? How you doing, man? Oh, how I don't do eyes. Oh, yeah, I don't do eyes. And oh, you're asking if I paint them. If I find them on the model, um, look, I'm the kind of painter. I use washes and inks and all that jazz. I love, love, love Army Painter Speed Paint. I can't tell you what I feel about Games Workshop's contrast paints because I don't use them. I can't afford to buy them. Um, I can't afford to buy them in the types of sets that would be useful, especially since I don't play any Games Workshop games outright. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. Um, so if there are teats on these models and the paint hits them, then the paint hits them and there it is. I don't have an eye for that kind of. I never really have. I could develop it. I was telling this to my art mentor. There's a lot of stuff that I just don't do. Because I don't wanna. Okay, I don't paint miniature worlds in the way an artist. I make toys to play with, like I. um. So I don't look for details. I don't judge other people's. By judge, I mean them. I just look at stuff going, dude, that's awesome. Then I pick it up and I go, pew 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 pew, nom 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 nom. And if you've ever played a game with me in real life, you know I'm not exaggerating. I actually do make those noises. I really like going nom 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 nom. Because I like making fun noises. When you talk to yourself as much as I do, um, it becomes a thing. So got all that. Now want to do I want to do it's clothing. And their clothing, I'm going with the same kind of brown that I did, but I'm gonna mix orc skin green from Army. I'm trying to get into painting, but I don't know if I have to. I get that. I definitely get that. Um, I know a lot of people see the whole painting process as what I call mystify. A lot of people, um, a lot of people mystify so many things. All right, so we're gonna do here. Now I've got the orc green, but I'm gonna mix in a little bit of this brown because I want a little bit darker of a theme. These are beastmen, not elves. So I'm just gonna put in a little bit of green to make it darker, and that's it. This paint is really thin. Um, and so yeah, I got my brush nice and loaded up, and I'm gonna be like, all right. So there's his little cloak there. Boom, little cloak. Now I'm not sure if those. Okay, those are spikes. Those are not supports. Cool. Okay. And now that I got his little cloak there, you see, I'm literally just wiping the stuff all over the place. The number one thing, Jeff, or Neff Jeff, is when it comes to painting, when it comes to painting miniatures or anything that you're really into, the main thing that I do and that I suggest to people all the time is a two-step process. Step one, set your standards realistically. And I know that that's really hard nowadays. Um, these days, we've got Instagram and Twitter and all the social media, and you've got all of these amazing professional painters that post their work that may as well be magic, right? And then to add insult to injury, they talk about how good they're not. I'm like, y'all need to shut up, all right? That stuff looks amazing. Ooh, I missed a little piece of his thigh there. Did I? Is that? Yeah, that's thigh. Okay. It's okay. Up real quick. Boo, 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 boo. Good. Good, good. Yeah. Now, eyes are done. All right. Yeah. See, there we go. Got all that. That's my green. All right. That's good. Now, all right. Yep. Doing all that. Doing all that. Okay. Now, he's got little spikes on the back. So I'm like, dude, he's got an armored tail. Armored tail is awesome. What's going on, Daryl? Ah. So, yeah. So, real talk, you know, messing up everything. Here's the funny thing about that notion, it's a toy, and these paints are really thin. So, if you mess up anything, all you really need is soap water and a toothbrush, and it's undone. But I also grew up watching really wholesome stuff, and Bob Ross would just call it a happy little accident. Sometimes, sometimes you make a little mistake, but that mistake can lead to something even better than you first imagined. So you should never be afraid to do something new, take little risks. And I truly believe that. I truly, truly believe that. Um, my art mentor was telling me that in their college courses, because they went to college for art, right? In their college courses, one of the things that they had to do was create something, and like they put their heart and their soul into it, and they had all that heart and soul, and so much heart and soul you could just hear them going do 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 do. It's a bad joke, but I'm making it still a bad joke. And um and after they did it, their teacher said, cool, now we are going to bust it all the way up, just tear it down, tear it all the way down, tear it up. There's no more, just no more of this thing. Tear it up, tear it down, it's done. And they're like, what? Yeah, they had to destroy the art piece that they spent like 2 to 3 weeks working on, and then take the broken pieces and make something else. And I'm like, that sounds awesome and super frustrating. super, super duper frustrating. That was all messed up, you know. Because seriously, you spend all that time making something, and you put your heart and your soul into it, and there's just so much heart and soul. And then you hit it with a hammer, take all those parts, and then you start over. And one thing that I like about that is that that's life, man. You know, a whole lot. I'll tell you, like real talk, real honesty, because y'all know how we roll on this channel. We talk about life and stuff. Here we go. So our green's done, our skin's done. All right, now that we got all that going, let's work on some of the leather straps, okay? I'm at technically 28 minutes. All right, so now we're going to take hardened leather, leather. All right, and we're just going to work on some of its leather straps. Okay, 3 models, maybe 4 drops. That's it. And this is all just straight out of the bottle. Thinning it, not doing shading. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I want this stuff to go on the table. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Leather. This guy's got some straps down here. Ooh boy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Oh, look at that. That is some stuff, ain't it? A little bit of leather down. Hey, look at my leather. That looks like a leather thing, which, a lot of the times when we're working on this stuff, I know um, my ADHD pops up with sarcastic questions that normally come from Neon Arlecchino. Like, oh wow, these guys are beastmen and they're wearing leather. So is the leather made from their forefathers? you know, are they wearing their cousin? I don't know, you know. And I guess that's what people. I guess that's what people talk about. Talk about coming up with their own stories and their like. I guess these guys they wear the skins of their forefathers because their forefathers' battle prowess was amazing, and generations before them. Oh, stop! I don't even know what Guild Wars is. Yeah, but their forefathers was the greatest of warriors, so much so that they died of old age, and then they took the skins from their grandfather and they wear them for power, you know. Or, their forefathers guarded them and protected them. So now their forefathers' skin has been made into leather to hold on their armor so that they can still guard and protect them against the enemies that come from all of these strange forest places. I don't know. I'm just making this stuff up. you know? So let's see what we got here. Yeah, we have a few more leather straps. Strap it, strap it. And yeah, I'm getting some bleed over, and guess what? I don't care. They're my toys. I do what I want. And part of my challenge today um is kinda to put an idea, okay? Just a simple little idea out to you guys, which is um it's great to have high stakes. It really is. It is amazing to have high stakes. However, I noticed something I like to call part of the malicious. And as an Exer, technically a Xenial, um, something I want to comment on and kind of help with, right? Yeah, you guys were given some serious rules that causes so much anxiety that nothing serves. I get it. But you know what I got to say to that? Have high standards, okay? Do your thing. However, don't make your standards beyond your skill. It's one thing to want to get better. I say all the time, guys. Always try and reach for 3 more inches. You know, seriously. I try to inspire people to reach for 3 more inches. Stretch just 3 more inches today than you did yesterday. Um, um, walk 3 inches farther. Okay, just make that last step just a tiny bit bigger. And little by little, you'll get better. It'll feel organic. But the second part I add to that, this is what your parents and your bosses never really, which is, but you're still okay if you don't reach that three. Reaching for it is what's important. Reaching for it with all your heart. And if you don't reach it, sometimes you're not going to. Okay? And see the best part, let's see, I've done my green, I've done my brown, again, then my dry brushing. Aha! Now I need to do my armor. And this is where I bust out some of my metallics. Right? So we're going to go for bright bronze from Vallejo Paint. Why do I call it Vallejo? Because that's how it's spelled, and I live in Los Angeles. You know, and it's funny because being where I'm from, partly being from the hood, we get held to a whole lot of terrible standards. Okay, um, there seems to be this expectation for us to know things that we us to be experts at things that literally just weren't available to. I got into it with someone about trap. Um, see, it was the '80s, and I wanted one really badly. But where I live, even to this day in the 21st century, there isn't a Target um within 6 miles. Right? And as a feral kid in the '80s, I wasn't getting a ride anywhere. Hey, Ninja Jeff, Dune Imperial Deluxe set. 5 miniatures. So I first want to start on the 6 Valiant Universe and the 20 Scythe Mechs. You know what? When we take a break from this or after we get done, I will look that up um on Google and see if I can find a picture of it. Because you said the secret word. You said Dune. I did not know that there was a Dune set of miniatures to paint. I dig that. But if you're trying to paint the Dune miniatures, you're afraid. You know what I'm about to say, right? I'm saying that you must not fear. Fear is your mind killer. It's like the little death that causes total oblivion. You must use your fear. Let it flow over, around, and through you. And when you do, then only you will remain. So you must not fear. Yeah, I went there. I went all the way there. Go ahead. Go ahead. Boo me all you want. Um, but yeah, I'll take a look at that because I do love me some Freeman. I do love me some Sardaukar. Um, and of course, the second movie should be coming out sometime soon. That sounds like and that sounds like one of these painting shows I can do. Hey, let's paint up some Doom stuff. Right, Wilmington, yeah, Wilmington represents. Right? Yeah, I'm not saying West Side Wilmos, but if you know, you know. Um, so yeah, so there we go. We're getting this armor done. Um, oh, look at that. I just saw that he has a skull on his thing. That is awesome. The things that get revealed when you're doing the stuff. Okay. So yeah, he's got that going. Arr, arr. All right, let's see what else. Looks like yeah. Now I would make the rest of his stuff. Oh, I'm going to uh make his connector or his axe connector the same bronze on the axe connector. That that fun. And yeah, so this is coming in. Now it looks like these guys, these brutes, have bone on their arm. Bone is fun. Yeah, that's really fun. Um, so bone is super duper easy. What we do is we essentially take that and we give it sort of a brown wash. Now I still have some of that wood. All right. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a wash out of it. And I literally just want to stain this up, give it a tint, call it bone. Like that. Yeah, look at that. It's bone. Okay. Now, I actually have some palette bone um in this set of Army Painter speed paints, but I left those inside the house. Okay? And if I were to get up, it would literally take me 3 minutes to go get them and 2 minutes to reset up the shot. So, again, you work with what you got. On my nerves. Scam Likely has been stalking me. So, get in there. And, yeah. Now he's got bone bits. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Got some bone armor coming through. Armor's on his arms, bone armor on his legs. I guess I'll do some green in here just to offset because this um really brown. Really brown. And I need a little bit of popping. A little bit of popping. Gonna in here. We go. Oh yeah, that looks need some contrast. Not a lot, not all the contrast in the world. Just a bit. See? Oh yeah, that did it. Look at that. Oh yeah, look at all that. So yeah, he's in there, and we move on. On to the next guy. All right. Now this guy has a lot of bone, and he's the leader. And I always like to make my leader different, so he's in a different. Ah, look at my thing on my arm. So I'm gonna give him a lot of bone pieces. And here, yeah, because with my Beastman lore, the beginners, the new guys, yeah, they get a bunch of bronze only because they're the ones they're the ones who take most of the hits. They don't know, yeah, and they don't know, or they need the protection because they're not strong enough. Yeah, that's it. That's my lore. And as you get more powerful, you get more bones from the things that have tried to fight you. And you make your armor out of that to show, hey, look at all these battles that I have faced and won. Mrr. I have faced the battles. I have won the battles. I wear the bones of my enemies as to say, you can't buy these from Pick and Save. You can't buy these from Big Lots. Does he have a lot to pick with some? Maybe. So, there we go. Yeah, he's got all this bone armor to say, hey, you can't go to Target and buy this stuff. But yeah, so as I was saying about Target and Trapper Keepers, what, y'all thought I forgot? I didn't have access to that stuff when I was growing up. Again, I'm all punk rock, do it yourself and all that. But a lot of people have this idea that their growing up experience was normal. And guess what? That is perfectly fine until you get about 26. Okay. And I say that this might sound ageist, but bear with me. When you're under 26 years old, chances are you haven't had the opportunity to get out into the world and see and learn different perspectives. Okay? You haven't had to see someone else's life made manifest um, in your reality. And most of the time, people, when they go through that, like for real, they go through that, they have almost existential crises. They fight it, you know. No, it's not like that. It's like this because this is how we know. I've had loads of those. And that kind of stuff tends to mess people up. Yeah, the Sardaukar minis look awesome. They have some painted sets on Etsy, but I'd rather paint them myself. I live in Mexico. There's people who have Warhammer painting sessions once in a while. Sweet! Sweet! Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look those up before the end of the show. So, and you live in Mexico. Sweet. You know, I do love Mexico, and the Warhammer community out there, I hear, is pretty awesome. You know, not gonna lie, I see that the Warhammer communities in Canada are pretty awesome, and the ones in Mexico are pretty awesome. It seems like the ones here in LA and Orange County could use a little work. That's what else. A little. Huh. And go. Look at all that. Yeah. Because they all have armored tails. I like the idea of an armored tail. That is actually pretty metal. Okay, I mean, it's pretty cool. That literally was a no pun intended moment. Like, yes. All right, so look, my guy. Arr, I am the leader. I am the lancer. Arr. All right, cool. So, moving on. All right. Now, just a little bit more. Do some green on his chest. This is literally for art reasons. Okay. Because the contrasty is a great thing. As I said, I'm doing this because I want to put these on film And a lot of people are like, well, if you're putting them on film, they got to look their best. Blah, 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 blah. That ain't how we roll here at Back in the Day. All right. My whole ethos is y'all can do this too. This is what it looks like when y'all do it, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Um, I do my best not to hold myself professional or competitive stance. Here's why. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, okay? And I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. What does that mean? That means that I have a perspective and grew up doing things that not a lot of people did. And a thing that one or two people did. Now, one of the things that people do down here, and I tried it for a while, was pick up basketball. What is that? Go to the park, you see if people's playing basketball, you see if they got room in the next game, right? Now don't get me wrong. There is a matter of pride and a bunch of stuff that goes with that. But one of my main things when it comes to that was I wasn't playing to be on the NBA. Right? I wasn't aspiring to be Magic Johnson. Seriously. Um, what I was doing was playing a game. And I was playing because it was fun. But sometimes I was playing against people that wanted to get drafted out of high school. Understand at our time, college was a lot cheaper, but there was no guarantee that you were going to get in. And there's still people in my neck of the woods, that literally don't believe that they can even get into a junior college. And I mean, they don't believe that they're smart enough to get into a junior college. I'm doing my best to change that, you know, because real talk, I'm not a great big fan of higher education. Actually, I am, but not for the purposes of finding work. Okay, I'm dead serious. I don't believe that a person should have to go to college to get qualified to work at McDonald's. I don't like that in the world. But I do think, and I guess this is my age talking, college is a fantastic. Ooh, had a little bit of a technical problem there. College is a fantastic place to learn for the sake of learning. Okay, you want to know something because you want to know something. College is a fantastic place. And I think that everybody should have that opportunity. Anyway, back to the whole pick up basketball thing. Um, I like doing stuff because it's fun. I'm a 46-year-old man. All right. Um, I'm not looking to prove anything to the world. I'm not looking to show the world how I belong. I don't want to be the best at anything. Sometimes I just feel like running, and so I run. Sometimes I feel like painting, and so I'll paint something. You know. But the number one thing that I like doing is I like playing games. I like playing with toys, especially like that whole growing up pouring in the hood. Didn't have money for toys. Now I'm a toy maker. I make all the toys that I want because I want to play with them. So that's what I'm doing. So when y'all hear me say, hey, these are my toys, I do what I want. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I do what I want. I will play with my toys the way that I feel like playing with my toys. I will paint them the way that I feel like painting them. Right? Now, there's this big thing, especially in internet culture and in maker culture, internet culture, um, where people will see your stuff, and the first thing that they'll do is they'll try and judge it. Oh, well, you could do it better here. You can do it better than that. Welcome to the land of unsolicited advice. And I'm like, I paint this stuff because it's fun. Well, I'm just trying to help you to be better. I didn't ask, so shut your face. And a lot of people's feelings get hurt when I say stuff like, "Oh well." I mean, seriously. A person comes up to me with unsolicited advice and judgment about what I'm doing, or more to the point, condemnation of what I'm doing, and telling me what I have to do to make it better, I didn't ask, then yeah, I don't put up with that. Um because I'm not obligated to substantiate other, and neither are you guys. So, Jeff, yeah, when you get your Dune models and you start painting them, dude, paint them. Um, if you want some tips on how to do that stuff, send me an email or hit me up on any of the platforms that I told you about. Any of them. You know, your email, your Twitter, your Twitch. We'll come up with like a painting scheme for them, and you and I will do our models on the show, step by step. All right, I'm dead serious. Okay, because I know you're afraid of painting them. You're afraid you're gonna mess them up. I get you, but guess what? If you never start because you're afraid that you'll fail, the only thing that will happen is that you will never have started. And that is not cool. Ask anyone's pile of shame. All right, now I want to do the wooden sticks on their axes. Okay, the wooden sticks on their axes. So here we go. And yeah, if I know, I'm guessing that you're new to the channel. And by the way, welcome. Right? And yeah, my vibe here is 100% anti, because all the gatekeepers that have this stupid attitude of I had to go through sweat and tears, I suffered. Now, I come from a time, from an idea that the people who made it up the ladder shouldn't pull the ladder up behind them. And um it is every generation's job to make things easier for the people following them. You know? That's how we got to the moon. You know? If there had not been public education, yeah, if there had not been public education, then half of the people that participated in the space program wouldn't have had the education to do it. So yeah, we got to the moon because people that came before those astronauts opened up a way to make sure that the astronauts that went could actually get an education. And that's what I'm about. So yeah, on this channel, we are so anti-gatekeeper. Well, I'm dead serious, man. You know, and if you're in Mexico, I don't know if you're on the Baja side or the Cabo side, but we are here Monday through Friday, unless I get called into my day job, which letting you guys know. The other reason that we're doing this today is because I am tired. All right, I had to empty cargo containers yet. Um, that sucks. Now I'm taking some silver, and I'm just gonna dry brush the silver over this. Just doing some dry brushing. Now, because what I want to do, or over brushing. Okay, getting that. Boom. All right, we are literally almost at time, and I am relatively happy with what we got here. Okay. Now, I could probably have done this and made it look a lot better. I could definitely have made these look pretty good. And yeah, I'm going over a lot of the other parts with a quick overbrush just to bring out some highlights, you know, because I like the idea of these guys shine, have an ethereal quality. Um, you guys are wondering, the silver that I use is from Army. Ah, oh, sweet. Yeah, awesome. Kelly is about one time a month, and she speaks. Oh, okay, you're in Ensenada. That means we're in the same time zone. Sweet. Very, very sweet. And I'm glad somebody is talking about what we do. All right, yeah, there we go. We got Beastman. I wouldn't go that far, Grey Ghost. I know some stuff. You know, always learning, always trying to learn more. I was feeling bad about that kind of thing. And I was talking to somebody once. I have no idea who I was talking to, Grey Ghost, but I was talking to somebody um about, my martial arts prowess and stuff like that. And they're like, "Dude, you never stop training." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, okay, that's it. I mean, yeah, I never did stop training. I never stopped practicing." So, do I know my stuff? Well, I still practice. Since there's no since there's really no ceremony. And this is the thing that I talk about on this channel all the time, guys. Competence sneaks up on you. Okay? There's very rarely a ceremony that goes, "Congratulations, you know what you're doing." And no, that ain't how life works. You just do something because you like it. And one day, you'll see the stuff that you did a long time ago versus the stuff that you did last week. And you shall be surprised. You'll be so surprised. Um, it was actually funny. This happened to me when my friend came over. Because yeah, I pulled out the original models that I used for Carnivale. And I pulled them out and I showed them to. And then I pulled out Carnivale models I painted last week because I was gonna go play over at Lost Planet Games in Torrance. Um and it was seriously night and day. I'm like, what who did these and why didn't they tell me? And I'm putting another just straight up orc green because I thinned them out too much and I want the green to pop a little more. So this is just orc straight out the bottle. Just going over the stuff I did before. Um, Not thinning them down and all that stuff. Okay. But yeah, it was like, wow, what are those? Who did that? That wasn't me. I didn't make this whole new thing. And the model that I did last week looked just like a lot of the model, a lot of the models that I used to look at when I went in a game store. And I'm like, huh, I guess I finally got as good as I be. All right, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And here we are, just around in just under the hour mark. Like I said, I just did a little bit of slapping, a little bit of chopping. Now this is one of the ones I did for, and this guy has so much red, so I'm gonna tidy him up because yeah, I tried doing something a little different with him, and it just didn't work. All right, and I'm doing this on the air because I knew there would be somebody that's saying I'm afraid of making mistakes and screwing. Yeah, the red, it was a mistake, right? It was an error. So I'm gonna put him back on the little thingy. Super thanks to Tanya, the War Mistress, for showing me the Uhu, because this stuff is amazing. Oh my god, yeah, the red is just it's so much that it's even like over. Uh-huh. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cover this with the metals because the red could not stop the metals. And it got thrown to the ground. That's right. And that could not stop the metals. And it got thrown to the ground. Let's see, I was talking to her about some Dragonlance campaign, and she said I might be down to have a one-shot session or something when you go over there. Right? Um, huh. Send me a whisper about who this mutual friend is, because this person seems like they know me, or they're a massive friend of the channel, and I want to give them a shout out. Um, I do miss running my weekly one shots. It's just life kind of sort of got in the way, and that sucked. There we go. Look at this guy, and look at this guy. Um, there's also yeah, also my guy isn't in because he's probably prepping for tonight's game. Um, I'll be playing him a weekly D&D campaign as well. And I used to broadcast those. Wow, yeah, that was me showing that I'm in my mid 40s and not going through puberty. Yeah, that works. I used to broadcast them. Sure. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. See? All fixed up. Now it's all shiny and cool, you know? And that's what happens when you mess up. That's all you got to do. Sometimes you don't even have to strip the whole thing. You can literally just cover them with another layer of paint. Most of the time, depending on the thickness of your paint, you've got a margin of error of 3 layers. Okay? 3 whole layers. So yeah, I mean that's a real thing. That's a serious thing. So don't be hard on yourself and don't talk yourself right. Um, but yeah, that's a real thing. Right? Again, I love playing games. I love making toys, and I want everybody to know that anyone can. Anyone, Remy, you can cook too. You know, because a lot of people do this mythologizing of I could never do all that stuff. I don't have the eye for detail. Yeah, you can. You can do it. You know, you can do it. You might not do it as perfectly as you want to do it the very first time you start, but I brought up martial arts a little early. One of the things, or one of my martial arts heroes, cause I'm old, is Bruce Lee. Okay? And Bruce Lee talked about the difference between flashy people and good people. Okay? Flashy folks are the ones that try and do 1,000 kicks one time, but the competent does one kick 1,000 times. you know, I don't know. Hey, got a new follower on the Instagram. Hello, new follower. Thank you for being there. That is awesome. Is non Impetigo and followed back. There you go. All right. So yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, I didn't do this guy's thing. Now this is the leader of my crew. So I want him to look a little sweet, because he's got the great big cape. I love cape. Just gonna take that wood or that hardened leather. We're just gonna add some leather to his thing because he was the leader and his forefathers and all that stuff we talked about earlier. All right, and there we go. Now, is this battle ready? Yes. Is this um is this display worthy? All depends on what you're displaying. Okay? Is this good enough for me to play with? Absolutely. I am so looking forward to playing stuff because again, I get to play games. So what I'm gonna do? Put these black. so, because yeah, this is a relatively big team that I have. This is my Beastman after party. It's kind of fun. Got a little after party going. I'm gonna see if I can get all these on the thing, and yeah, that works. Cool. So I'm gonna put all these thing and see what I can do on actually making it so that y'all could. Because yeah, I'm a big fan of making. Ouch. So yeah, seriously though, um, As I said, nothing wrong when the best. My mom used to tell me all the time, you do your best. And I believe so deeply. Oh, wait. Cancel. Wrong one. There we go. Okay. That worked. Here. And see what we can do. There we go. Now I can put my team up. Because again, totally punk rock. Or take what you got, make what you want out of it. That's what I was taught to do. Got, make what you want. So, yeah, so the X-Men after party is a total thing. Pretty awesome. Uh, then we're gonna wait. But yeah, and I want you guys really understand. I mean this. Really understand. It's good to have higher standards. I'm not against all that. But when your standards are so high that really don't get stuff that you want, are those standards necessary? Like, are they serving you to be like that? Because seriously speaking, I used to be because so many people had this idea. Well, if you're gonna do it right, and blah 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 and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but good enough. Well, then you got to get better, or you shouldn't try. I'm like, for realsies? Like that's really your thought process? All right. The things I do. So, but yeah, and I'm just like, dude, yeah, forget that. Especially when it comes to doing the stuff that you love, just do the best you can. That literally is it. Do the best you can with what you got so you can get more. Now let's take a look. As soon as I figure out the right lighting. Oh no. No. All right, yeah, that's what we boom. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Good. So let's take a look at the team. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Got our little Freddy Krueger guys out there. Got a skinned cat. Got our leader. Our leader with just attention. And of course, got our brutes. That, yeah. And, I say he's the leader, but those guys are actually solos. And that is going to be tough. Hey, look at that. Oh, this is just so fun. You're just out there. Thing. And we have finished the fantasy army. Did it about the time that I had hoped would get it done. You know? So that is good enough, or as we used to say, but that's good enough for government work. And I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine. Cookies, the whole thing. But I actually have to get out of here because my D&D game starts in about a half hour. And that leaves me about 20 minutes something to eat, and all of that jazz. And I will be back in this chair until at least um I'm not quite. You know what? Let me put up a up up. All right. No. Okay. How many channel points? That's for you. So I literally just started a poll. Yeah, I literally just started a poll. You guys want to watch that? Answer the down here, and we can make all that stuff. You know, instead of going, I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna give you guys watch the D&D game in, and when I say I'm in, I am not a player or I am not a GM. I am actually just a player. I love this. Oh, I knew I was missing it here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. All right, cool. So either way, I'm actually going to be making a little recording of this thing, so I can put it up on the TikTok and in the One Page Rules Discord. It's funny the Discord thing and all that stuff. There's so many different social media things. As a content creator, I go through a lot really trying to. I don't always, and the less I succeed, the less I'm able to grow this community of watchers. So, if you guys would be so good, share this really help. Also another way that you guys can help me out, mean this is I've got three different places: Patreon, a donate, and a merch store. Um, and there we go. So I've got a few places that you guys can help. Having gone back at the warehouse yesterday, I can let y'all know. I stupidly forgot. Yeah, I'm having some Oreos. I stupidly forgot to pregame with the ibuprofen. That was really dumb on my. So I was so messed up. Hmm. Oreos and coffee for you lactose intolerant people out there like me. I was so messed. I didn't take out the garbage. I was just like, oh god, it all hurts. It all hurts. It all hurts right now. I'm gonna just lay down, take a quick nap, and yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just take and I woke up this morning after the trash truck pulled by, and I'm like, oh well. Hmm. Fortunately, I don't produce because I use it all for crafting. Ah! Oh no, I'm kidding. So let's see what this poll is looking. Oh, well, so far looks like y'all want me to broadcast the thing. Okay. So far, it looks like y'all are wanting me to broadcast. Um, which I don't mind. That's just more time on Twitch. So I'm good with that. Unfortunately, though, I won't be in the Wizard's Tower. I'll be because again, so many social media. I hate fighting with what social media platform. I go through Zoom, Discord. sometimes face so many. So, but I am definitely going to take a picture of these beastmen so that the guys on the one page rule things will be like, man, that's so cool. Yeah, and such an easy paint scheme. So, with all that, I want to say thank you, guys. Hey, look at all that. Uh huh. So, if you guys got any questions, comments, or any of that stuff, hit me up at backinthedeck@gmail.com. BACKINT at gmail.com. You can also hit me up. Oh, wow. Yep, the poll is like 100% show your D&D game. And I'm like, fine. Let's see here. Um, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, or my email, all back in the deck at gmail.com. It's BACKINTHEDEK at gmail.com. You can also hit me up on TikTok at BidP, that's BIDPY. You can also hit me up on Facebook, the Deckers on the Book group. There's also a Discord. If y'all want to join the Discord and do all that stuff, let me just put the invitation up to Discord right here. I'm gonna just put that right there in the chat so you guys can join up on the Discord. And with all that, I gotta say thank you to you guys watching back there, to you commenting. Welcome, Ninjef. Seriously, welcome. Look forward to seeing you here a lot more. Gray Ghost, seriously, congratulations. And the rest of you guys out there, thank you so much for tuning in. That means so much. I know I keep pushing the wrong button. But yeah, thank you so much. And thank you here. And if anybody tells you that y'all can't like what you like or start what you're doing or learn what you learn because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, or your budget, because we all know that the trailer park is not that far from the hood. You can tell all of them to take any of those cards back in the day. This is Solar Gray, the cinematic source, saying thank you guys, and we will see you next time. The dark side of the room.